Welcome to this explainer. Today, I'm going to be stepping into the role of your high-performance coach. We're going to take the IELTS General Training Reading Test, which, let's be honest, is a highly regimented, notoriously strict exam, and break it down into a completely predictable, manageable playbook. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by the sheer volume of text, those tricky question formats, or just the terrifying tick of the clock, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to decode the rules of the game so you can play to win. All right, so here is our game plan for today. We'll start with Section 1, the anatomy of the test, then move into Section 2, covering the 3 reading sections. After that, Section 3 dives deep into question types, and we'll wrap it all up with Section 4, breaking down scoring and bands. Let's get right into it.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Anatomy of the Reading Test.
Look, to win any game, you first need to fully understand the strict physical constraints of the playing field, right? You can honestly have the best reading comprehension skills in the world, but if you don't respect the structural anatomy of this exam, you're just going to lose points unnecessarily. Let's look at the hard numbers. You have exactly 60 minutes on the clock to complete the entire exam. But here is the ultimate trap that catches so many test takers. There is absolutely zero extra time to transfer your answers to the final sheet at the end. When that hour's up, pencils are down. You have to read, answer, and transfer all within that exact same 60-minute window. And within that strict hour, you've got to tackle exactly 40 questions. Now, these aren't just simple recall questions either. They're meticulously designed to test a really wide spectrum of reading skills. Literally, 1 minute you might be just skimming for the general gist or reading for main ideas, and the next, you're diving deep to understand complex logical arguments or recognize a writer's specific attitude and purpose. It's a real mental workout.
Now here's the kicker. Every single one of those 40 questions is worth exactly 1 point. Just one. There are no weighted questions here, but you have to be incredibly careful when you write those answers down. The official guidelines explicitly state that poor spelling and grammar are penalized, so a brilliant deduction can easily turn into a 0 just because you misspelled the final word on your answer sheet. Seriously, you have to watch out for that.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the 3 reading sections. So the test doesn't just throw random articles at you. It's actually highly structured into 3 distinct sections that escalate in complexity, basically mimicking a journey into an English-speaking environment. You start off easy in Section 1 with what they call social survival. Think basic, everyday factual information, stuff like notices and timetables. Then you level up to Section 2, workplace survival, where you're dealing with professional contexts like job contracts or staff training materials. Finally, you hit the heavyweight round in Section 3, general reading. This features one long, really complex text with extended descriptive or instructive prose, usually pulled right from magazines or books.
All right, let's dive into the meat of it. Section 3, mastering the question types. This is absolutely the largest and most critical part of our playbook, the vast arsenal of task types you're going to encounter. When you face tasks like sentence completion, short answer questions, and summary completions, you've got to pay obsessive attention to word limits. If the instructions say no more than 3 words and you write 4, boom, you lose the mark automatically, even if the information is totally correct. Also, just keep in mind that numbers can be written as figures or words. Hyphenated words count as a single word, and contracted words simply aren't tested. For a lot of these tasks, you literally have to pull the exact words directly from the text, so pay super close attention to those instructions. Understanding the mechanics here illustrates a massive strategic advantage for your pacing. Because listen, not all questions are created equal. Some question types, like multiple choice, sentence completion, and short answers, present their questions in the exact same order as the information appears in the text. This is great because it means you can read chronologically. But others, like matching information or matching features, do not follow the text order at all. For these, you're forced to dynamically scan the entire passage to hunt down the required details. Knowing this difference beforehand literally dictates your entire reading strategy. Now, when it comes to identifying information tasks, what you probably know as true, false, not given, there is a major pro tip coming directly from the test makers. You must leave your personal expertise at the door. The test explicitly states that any knowledge students bring with them from outside the passage should play absolutely no part when deciding on their answers. So if the text says the sky is green, well, for the purpose of this exam, the sky is green. Don't fight it. Let's isolate that notoriously confusing not given option for a second, because it trips up so many candidates. It's totally crucial to understand the difference between false and not given. False means the passage explicitly states the exact opposite of the statement, or the author directly disagrees with it. But not given simply means the information does not exist on the page at all. It is neither confirmed nor contradicted. If you find yourself trying to infer or guessing what the author kind of might think, actually scratch that, you're definitely looking at a not given answer. Then there's the matching headings task. Your job here is to distinguish the main idea of a paragraph from just its supporting details. But remember these rigid constraints. There will always be more headings provided than there are paragraphs. This means several headings are just traps specifically designed to distract you. It's a game of elimination. Furthermore, no heading may ever be used more than once. So, the process of elimination is absolutely your best friend here. Finally, let's take a look at the scoreboard with Section 4, Scoring and Band Conversions. So, you've navigated the 60 minutes, the 3 sections, the super strict task rules. How do those 40 marks actually translate? Well, your raw score, which is just the number of correct answers out of 40, is tallied up by the markers and cross-referenced with a conversion table specific to your test version. This instantly translates your raw score directly into the official IELTS 9-band scale, giving you a very precise metric of your abilities, and it's reported in whole and half bands. As you evaluate your own study habits against the strict rules, formats, and constraints we just explored today, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought for your exam prep. When you sit down with a practice test, are you just passively reading to understand the article, or are you actively reading to score? Because on the IELTS General Training Reading Test, it's not just about English comprehension. It is about executing a precise strategy within a rigidly defined system. Keep this playbook in mind, respect the constraints, and you'll be well on your way to mastering the exam.